In the first video on the cloud, we looked at OneDrive. Now let's look at Google Drive. We'll go to Google Drive by going to Chrome, and if you're not already signed in when you start Chrome, I recommend that you sign in. And the advantage of that with Chrome is that it'll keep your bookmarks across the various devices. But I think the other advantage is that by doing this, you'll have your Google Drive set up. So that's my email address for this account. I'm going to sign in. I've got to give it a password. We'll see if that works. And sure enough, I'm going to do that, and it tells me I haven't done this, so we're okay. So there I am. I'm signed in. Now, if I just click on these little dots here, those are the Google apps, and you can also find them up here on the bookmarks toolbar. I had to turn that toolbar on. It's not on by default. You turn it on under bookmarks, and here there's a place where it says show bookmark bar. I highly recommend that as well. Anyway, we're signed in. I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to Drive, and sure enough, all I had to do was open it up, and I'm all set with my drive. So it's safe storage. I get 15 free gigabytes, and that's all I need to know. Just like with OneDrive, there's a file here that shows you how to get started, and everything you do is being synced. So if we click on Learn More and look down here, it says for offline access, we've got to use the Chrome browser, and we've got to enable an extension. So that's one possibility. Now, what I really recommend is that you install their desktop version, and then it'll function just like OneDrive. The icon will be there at the bottom. You can click right to it and so on. So let's go find the desktop version, and I think we're going to find that at Google. Remember the same place we went to before, google.com/drive, and if we scroll down here, hopefully there's a link to get the desktop version. Go to Google Drive, get Google Drive. Let's see what it says about getting Google Drive. Download for the PC. This is the one we want. So I'm going to accept and install it, and there's the install file. I'm going to double click on it. It's going to open it. And it says it's done. Okay. So now, if we look under here, we don't see it. It's not running yet. What do we have to do? There's Google Drive. So I'm going to click on this and see what that does. Get started. I have to sign in with my account name again. And add files. So now we see it running down here. And if we click done, we're all set. Let's look at the options here. And just like OneDrive, you can say sync everything or select certain folders to sync. And this shows you where it's going to store it. And if you want it somewhere else, this would be the time to do it. Just change the file location here and you can move it to some better place. I put my OneDrive and Google Drive at the top of my D drive because that's where my documents folder is. And this makes it very easy to change. OneDrive has become a bit more difficult to change if you don't start out as a local user where you get control right away. It likes to be helpful and puts it here. And anyway, so that's all I have to do. If I'm happy, I just say start sync and we're done. And there's the Google Drive folder. It's currently empty. We see that it's running here, and just like we did before, I'd like to turn it on so we can always see that option. So I go to taskbar settings and I scroll down here and I say select which icons appear, and then I scroll down and find Google Drive. There it is. I turn it on and now it's always showing down here and I can see the status. So those are all things I recommend. We're in good shape. And Cortana is trying to help me out because she sees I'm using Google Drive and is concerned about my being wed to Google. That's setting up Google Drive. And now, just like we would have done with OneDrive, you can go here and notice here they, just like Microsoft, put OneDrive over here. Google Drive pins a link to your Google Drive folder here. It's in your quick access list. But if I click on that, there's my Google Drive that's up on that. And just like I did over on OneDrive, I can start creating folders. And you've got to decide how you're going to use both of them. You might want to keep one kind of thing on one on the other. You get a lot more space here, so maybe this is where you put your pictures. And just be careful to try to organize folders under it so you don't get a big mess. It's much easier to find things if you have your files organized into folders, and don't put too many files in a folder. My rule of thumb is that what you can see in a compact listing of the folder, if you have to keep scrolling around to find all the files in the folder, there's probably too many there. So 40, 50, 100 files in the folder. More than that, you might want to start another folder. That's a quick overview of Google Drive. I hope you enjoyed it. In this video, I noted that it was difficult to find where to download Google Drive desktop version. And also, after I installed it, I had a little trouble finding it to get it started. So, to solve the first problem, on the Imaging Tips website under videos, at the bottom of this page, I've added a link to where you can find it, and it's really on google.com drive.download. And so if I go there, there's the link to download. We'll download it, we'll accept and install, and just like before, there it is. We're going to install it. So this time we've downloaded it and installed it, and we still don't see anything on the desktop. Now I still have it pinned to the desktop, but it's disappeared, as you see, because we removed it before. So let's ask Cortana and see if she knows how to find it. So there, Cortana had no trouble finding it. So I just typed Google. There's Google Drive, and that's how you get it started. And this is the addendum. It shows how to do it again. It says I got to sign in again because I had uninstalled it so I could reinstall it. But anyway, no problem. You know how to do it. See you next time.